Hi, in this video I'm going to look at profit warnings, at what they are and what you should do if one of your companies does warn on profits. So what exactly is a profit warning? Well, I looked at Wikipedia just quickly before I started shooting this video, and they said that it's when a company will make lower profits this year than it made last year. That's a profits warning. Actually, no, sorry Wikipedia, that's wrong. What a profits warning actually is when a company knows that this year it's going to make profits that are lower than the current market expectations, the current analyst expectations, if you like. So we've already looked at analysts in the video, What Are City Analysts? But basically these guys, they're mostly guys, they're highly paid number crunchers who issue buy, sell, hold ratings on companies, and they also give forecasts on what profits are expected to be this year, next year, year after. And normally these analysts, they chat to the company involved and they get some guidance from the finance directors. The finance director would never give them a precise figure what profits are going to be, but they guide analysts towards the right ballpark. And when you've got a big company, somewhere like Tesco's, you'll have 20 or 30 analysts following the company. So you'll get loads of different forecasts. You average out those forecasts and you get the consensus expectation, the consensus forecast for that company for profits this year, for profits next year. And if the company concerned knows that that forecast is wrong, they've got to tell the market immediately that the forecast is wrong, the expectations need to be changed, and the company issues a profit warning. Now, if you want to find out what the analyst expectations are, people in the city, they will just be able to quickly find the figure on their Bloomberg or Reuters screens. But private investors, you can also find these numbers. Go to the Yahoo Finance website. If you're interested in Tesco, go to the Tesco page on Yahoo Finance, and then you'll see on the left-hand side links, including one saying analyst estimates. Look at that link and you'll see the market estimate for what Tesco is going to do this year. Tesco thinks that wrong. It issues a profits warning. If actually it thinks the market estimates are too low, then once again, the company should tell the market that the market forecast is wrong. So normally when you get that positive warning, if you like, that's a profit upgrade or an earnings upgrade. And if you as an investor, you want to see the actual statement that the company's put out to the market, the profit warning or the profit upgrade, you can find it on a great website called Investigate. And it's got an E in the middle there, not an I. Investigate, great site that has all the different statements that every stock market company ever puts out. So if you see in the press that a company you own has issued a profits warning and you want to read exactly what the company says, go to Investigate and you can read the statement itself. So fine, you own a company when there's been a profit warning. How do you react? Do you immediately sell your shares? Or do you wait a while, or do you just carry on holding for the long term? Well, the first point to make really important here is no matter how quickly you react to the profit warning, you're going to be too late in terms of beating that immediate fall in the share price. As soon as the profit warning comes out, as soon as trading begins after the profit warning, you'll see an immediate fall in the share price. Just like that, you can't beat it. You won't be able to sell your shares at the pre-warning price, or it's highly unlikely anyway. So don't focus on trying to do that. You won't be able to do it. So what you have to do is the profit warnings come out, you've seen the share price has fallen. Do you just panic and bail out, or do you decide to hold on? Crucial point is don't panic, stay calm, then decide what you're going to do. Analyze a bit deeper. Now, it may be the case that the profit warning is actually an example of what's known as kitchen sinking. And we saw an example of that last week when Shell put out a profit warning. Now, Shell, until last week, hadn't issued a profit warning since 1998. But the company's just got a new chief executive. He's only been doing the job for 3 weeks, Ben van Boeven, and he's decided to put out a profit warning really quickly. And that often happens with new bosses. And it's because they want to start from a low base. They want things to look really bad when they start. And then when things improve, they'll look better. They'll get all the glory for doing a fantastic job. So a new CEO will often look for all the problems. He'll write down the value of assets on a company's balance sheet. He'll throw everything out, including the kitchen sink, to make things look really, really bad. So if you see a profit warning where it's come from a company where a new boss has just come in, probably you should stay invested. The new CEO is just playing a game. He's kitchen sinking. And there's another good stock market saying you'll often hear is profit warnings come in threes. And so often if you see a company that is having real problems, it'll release its first profit warning, then things get worse, you get another one, say 3 months later, and then maybe another one a year down the line. And this is where a company has got a more deep-seated malaise, some structural problems that it's struggling to deal with. Now, it's easy to say that. The question is, how do you know? Not all the time. Often companies recover quickly from one profit warning. But this trend of happening 3 times happens enough to make this saying at least partly relevant. Sometimes it really is true. So you need to look at the excuses the company is giving for the profit warning. Is it something very major? Maybe this is a company that only has 3 or 4 customers and one of them has actually left the company. That's clearly a big, massive structural problem. If that's happened, there's a strong chance you're going to see some more profit warnings. It's probably a good idea to bail out, cut your losses. That's a company with real problems. But retailers is a good example. You'll often see profit warnings coming out where it's just a relatively small blip. A retailer might say, sales over the last 3 months have been disappointing, lower than expectations. The reason is we bought the wrong kind of skirts. We didn't get the right judgment on fashion this quarter. Now, if that retailer's done well for the last 2 or 3 years, I wouldn't see it as a disaster if it just gets the fashion wrong for 3 months. That often happens with retailers. It's never easy to get the fashion right time after time after time. So I'd forgive them that blip. I'd keep an eye on the company, see if they turned it round the next quarter. If they didn't, then I'd start to get worried that there's a more long-term structural problem. But a fashion mistake like that can be a small blip. And there's lots of other things that might cause a small blip, like if you're supplying parts to Apple for the iPhone, and if Apple delayed the launch of the iPhone by 3 months, a new iPhone, then fine, there's going to be a temporary blip in your chip sales. But 3 months later, the new iPhone will be launched, and then actually sales will go back up as expected, and the problem was only short term. Another thing I like to do actually is to think about the excuse a company gives and say, is that excuse really plausible? Are they really telling me the truth? And with retailers, again, I've often seen a retailer blame a poor quarter on bad weather. You know, if there was lots of snow before Christmas, Christmas sales were down, lower than expected. Now that sounds good, but if company A used this weather excuse and then 2 weeks later, company B says, hey guys, we had a great Christmas regardless of the weather, then suddenly you're thinking, company A didn't tell me the truth here. Company A have got more serious problems than just the weather, and either they're not telling me the truth because they're a bunch of liars, or they're not telling me the truth because they're lying to themselves and not dealing with the more serious problems that the company has. That would make me very nervous, and I'd very seriously consider selling. But it's never easy when you get a profit warning to know what to do. There's no simple answer. If there was a simple answer, we'd all be millionaires. But hopefully I've given you a few ideas on how to approach it. So that's it for this video. I'll be back in a couple of days with another one. So until then, good luck with your investing.